the best reason to sell with Showtime, in my opinion, is the payout. You're going to be paid out funds in hand on average from 10 to 15 days after the auction. I would put that against any auction company in the world. You know, I was very excited about the switching of times, going to a 4 p.m. sale. I think the only thing we're going to change maybe a little bit is we're going to start doing the lesser valued items, not necessarily lesser desired, but lesser valued items, 1,000 and less, 2,000 and less during the day virtually. And then we're going to have the live auction at night with really the highlights of the sale. So I'm very excited about that. Thought it went great. We had more bidder participation than ever, more catalog views than ever. Overall, it was a huge success. Does it bring a different energy than the daytime sales? I think that's a hard question to answer. You're gauging energy through a computer. But I'll say this, I think the bidding was more active and more abundant than typical. We had an exceptional turnout and our bidders were up over 50% from all-time previous highs. So with that being said, we are really excited and think that the Monday Night Lights sale was a huge hit. We may also move it to Wednesday. I thought Monday was a little wonky. We may move it to Wednesday Night Lights, but we will be under the lights at Showtime moving forward. You know, for people interested in consigning into our sales and wondering if they should, if they shouldn't, I think a couple things stand out to me. I sold at just the last auction on Monday Night Lights. We sold from one of the biggest auction houses in the oil and gas sector. They sell there out in West Texas. We sold about 10 lots that were sold 2 weeks prior and saw a 30% uptick in the number. The buyer bought it at their sale, put it in my sale, 30% more. Okay, those kind of results and returns we can show you. You can see it's the exact same asset. They didn't do anything to it, just simply consigned it with us. We've also had consigners buy at the world's largest orange auction house. They bring it here and we're seeing 30 to 40% returns. So no matter if it's your equipment or if you're a trader, you know, one thing to think, if you're trading this equipment, okay, you can buy it, okay, bring it in, sit on it for months, then make a good profit. Or I can show you how you can buy it and in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on when our next sale is, you can get a 30 to 40% return. You pay commission, you make 20 to 30% return. That's still incredible when you're doing it on a 30-day return. That's absolutely important. And we typically collect funds within 7 days. And then we pay our consigners. We don't hold your money. We're not a bank, okay? We're not in the business to hold your money. Let them hold your money. We want to make you money. And then we want to pay it back to you as quickly as possible. So the minute we get paid and we've got all your funds collected, you get paid, which on average is about 10 to 15 days after the auction. So after the auction, you've bought, let's say, 10 assets from our sale. No matter where you're at in the world, we're glad to help you with transportation. Now, I personally think, and I've bought from most of the auction companies in the United States and heavy equipment, and they typically will give you no help on transportation, okay? You buy it, you own it, you figure out how to transport it wherever it needs to go. We're always ringing here at Showtime, baby. But listen, we are more than happy to get you a quote. You don't like the quote? No problem. No problem. You can handle it yourself. But if you want assistance with that, we can do it. After the auction, we're going to send you what we call a picking ticket. As soon as you pay and we confirm funds are received, and one thing I want to say about that, a lot of people come in here, hey, I got, show me on my phone where I sent it. We don't need that. It's very simple. When it's in our bank account, you own the equipment and it's released. You'll get a picking ticket. It'll have the contact, the address at whatever yard you bought at. If you bought here in Fort Worth, it'll be our home office. You'll be talking to Jasmine. But if not, you'll have a yard contact and address to go pick your stuff up. If you want us to ship it, even if it's a short trip, whatever it may be, if it's going to Dubai or just down the road, we're happy to help when we can. What's the greatest incentive to sell with Showtime? I would say a few things really set us apart. One, our advertising. Our advertising is second to none, okay? We advertise on average more than the largest auction, heavy equipment auction company in the world. We advertise more. Okay, that's number one. So your equipment's going to get out there to the world. Anybody, everybody that might be interested, we hope to get it in front of them. Number two, fees. We do not, you do a lot of fees, okay? We do the fees we have to. Of course we collect sales tax, of course. But little fees or nickel and dime fees or anything like that, we don't do, okay? So it's a very straight shooter approach. 10% commission, you have a title transfer fee, which if you sell any vehicle through a dealer, you're going to pay regardless. You go buy a new car, you're going to pay a document fee, we call it, okay? It's $75, right in line with everybody else. But as far as a lot of other fees you would be paying, it's non-existent. We're going to get you a premium. I just told you. We are on average getting 30 to 40% more for our clients than other auction houses. How do we know this? Because they're bringing us the exact piece of equipment. Not, I'm selling a dozer that may have 100 hours versus one that they sold for 10,000 hours. And that's not the deal here. This is stuff that they're buying and bringing right to our yard, getting 30, 40% more. And lastly, and maybe the best reason to sell with Showtime, in my opinion, is the payout. You're going to be paid out, funds in hand, on average, from 10 to 15 days after the auction. I would put that against any auction company in the world because typically they're going to hold your money for 20 to 30 days. Some of them even run it in an offshore account and make a little interest off of it, okay? We don't do that. We're not a bank. We're not trying to make interest off your money. The minute we collect it, you are paid. Now, just so we clarify there, that's not per lot. If you got 10 lots, we're going to at least collect 7, 8 lots before we give you that first payment. And we don't mind doing multiple payments. So if we have to wait 30 days on one piece, we're going to go ahead and pay you out what we're holding of your funds. And then we'll pay you for the one piece when they collect it after the 30 days. The first part of an auction is to have a good auction. Okay, have, great prices, a lot of bidders, that's first. But then becomes the real work. You have to collect the money. And if you can't collect the money, then you didn't have a very good auction. Listen, there's no relaxing after an auction, okay? You have an auction, you invoice money, and then guess what? You're getting ready for another auction. So it's a constant grind, and I think that you either love it or you don't. I've been doing this since I was 18 years old, and I love it. I mean, I love every part of it. But that is kind of a neat thing about it. We do monthly auctions, so we're constantly in some form of work, for lack of better terms, whether we're getting ready for an auction or we're setting an auction up. We've got to take pictures, videos, all that. And that stuff starts happening the day after the auction you just had, while you're trying to collect the money. So really the auction business, and maybe why a lot of people fail at it, I mean, you got to enjoy the grind. I mean, it really is a grind on the daily. And there's no taking days off or doing, very little. If I go on vacation or anything, it's typically, the week after a sale, because that is our quietest time or calmest time. But yeah, you're constantly grinding for that next sale. And the minute the one sale's over, it's time to get the next one going. So there's not a lot of relaxation in the auction business, unfortunately.